In a row.
Thank you. Very good. Okay, don't need to see my work calendar here. All right, let's go back to the presentation. All right, and here we are. So as usual, questions in the chat box and or just interrupt and say, hey, I got a question. So again, like I said, today we're going to go over kind of the digital world and touch base on the different ways of doing marketing using digital platforms, et cetera. So obviously, social media is the big one, and it, will continue to be so. However, it is you feel about it. It's one of those things that are necessary. It's effective, and it's helpful in us relaying our message, marketing our business, selling our products and services. It works, and so like I said, I did a pretty intensive dive on data on each of the main platforms so that you all can have that. So we can kind of look at all of that when making a decision about what it is we want to be on, which platforms do we want to be on, because, we want to be efficient, we want to be effective, and we want results. And so, obviously Facebook is still the largest platform in the world. This is 2024 data. Only 1 billion less on, well, no, actually only half billion less on YouTube. And then we're coming into Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and then others, towards the bottom of that. Um, but it's still, I mean, these are the top ones. And so this is where people are. And so depending on our business and who our target is, as we look through that information, it will let us signal to us as to whether or not we need to be on there as well. So just as kind of a recap, there's a bunch of different ways to utilize social media in your marketing. Obviously, brand awareness. It allows us to talk about our story and our values. We spent quite a bit of time talking about that in previous sessions and the importance of that. Social media is the best way to tell that story and to reinforce those stories and values. Obviously, to have customer engagement, responding to comments and questions and building comments and questions into our post help us build relationships with our audience. Content marketing, spent half the session last week on that, last Thursday, creating valuable, engaging, informative content, including blog posts, videos, infographics, to attract and inform potential customers when they are way early on the buying journey. And then, of course, there's promotions and sales, having discounts and offers, sales events to drive customer traffic and to ultimately have them buy from us. And doing paid advertising on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn to target certain specific demographics and be able to reach individuals like that as well. So again, different ways of utilizing social media, um, and just finding out what it is or what areas that you will want to use them in. Another important area is customer service. So it allows us to provide quick responses to customer inquiries and resolve issues through direct messaging. We can do some really great market research. We can gather insights on target audiences through polls and questions and different types of engagement metrics. So as we're looking for persona information, we can use our social media platforms to help drive some of that research. Social is a great way to have networking and partnerships so we can connect with influencers, partners, colleagues, and other businesses for collaborations. Obviously, social media is a great way to do lead generation using forms or special offers to collect content details and then follow up. We talked about that last Thursday, and offering something free on websites or downloads on landing pages allows us to engage with user generated content that also builds trust with potential customers and reinforces trust with existing customers. So, how do I know what platform is best? Well, first of all, what is identify who your target audience is and where are they most active? And again, coming up slides, you're going to get a more data than you ever wanted. The demographics matter because certain people are certain ones, other people are not. So you just want to make sure if your target audience is a certain age group, a certain gender, generation, then you want to make sure that you are there. And the other part is, what are you wanting to define as your business goals? So in deciding what platforms are best, what are you trying to achieve? Brand awareness, lead generation and sales, customer service, what those are. So again, defining goals is a key part of this. And that's what we're going to be working on Thursday's session in the actual strategic marketing plan. And then what resources do you have? Is it just you? Do you have other people that can help you? Are you going to outsource? Are you going to help hire someone? Are you going to get an intern or interns to help you do this? So again, how much time and effort do you have available to put into this? And then, different platforms, different media have different ways of, curating the content. TikTok is one behavior, TikTok has one style, Facebook has another, Instagram has another. They have commonalities. They all kind of like the reels, they all like the video feeds, etc. But each one is YouTube obviously is very different than the other platforms in creating the content. So you want to make sure not only that you are on the platform that is your demographic, but that you have the time and resources and the ability to actually make the content that fits that platform. And then also, consider the specific strengths of different platforms. So Instagram is great for visual businesses, fashion, food, design, and it reaches a younger audience. Facebook, still being the largest platform, is good for community building, ads, and business targeting. Facebook groups, in the last year and a half have really taken off again. So you can find, like you can find groups in a wide range of topics that would relate to your business, or you could create that group, you could create that network, and have it as a place where people can talk about, the things behind your business, etc., or the concept behind it, the message, the meaning, and then you're creating your own group there. X is real-time updates. It's great with customer engagement. People are very engaged on X, and it's very active on participating in trends. And of course, YouTube, it is strong for educational content, tutorials, and brand storytelling, all through video. So we'll go ahead and start talking about the individual profiles. So Facebook, what are some pros of Facebook? I can share promotions. I can have a dialogue with my customer base. Negative side of that is cons of that is negative feedback is public. Everybody sees it. And you really can't give away a lot of stuff on Facebook like you can on some of the other platforms. Some stats on Facebook. I'm not going to read each one of these, but again, it's a lot of people. The posts and with images are 2.3 times more engaging, making visuals a very important part of the marketing. 66% of Facebook users visit a local business page at least once a week. So in other words, if you're local centric work, then your business page has 66% more likelihood of being seen by someone in your area. And the Facebook ads aren't terribly expensive. You can start with a really low budget and build from there. So that makes it an affordable way of entering. Average Facebook, 38 years old, average person has 229 friends, accepts 80% of their friend requests. 7% has never met their friends 7% of their friends they've never met. 15% update on status daily, and then 22% comment on another status. So again, active, a little bit more female than male. But again, just understanding these are some of the demographics that are involved with Facebook. So I also decided on this session or these series to discuss the algorithm. We always hear the algorithm, the algorithm, the algorithm. So the algorithm is what makes each platform work, and it's what makes each of your business posts seen or not seen. Now, after doing this research and after studying this, there is some commonalities. It's all about engagement, the variety of content, and how frequent you post. And so again, for the sake of time today, I'm not going to read through all these, but you will have them. But I think it's a value to at least understand how the different algorithms work for the individual social media profiles. So again, Facebook engagement is key. The more likes, shares, and comments your posts get, the more likely they are to be seen. 2 is the variety of content, images, videos perform better, but mixing up the content. And consistent posting keeps you visible, but don't overdo it and avoid spammy behavior. Times of day and the weeks to post on Facebook are here. Higher Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then I also went in and just for the sake of understanding, is the structure each one of these posts. So I found an infographic that allows to study the post structure. So your status update, hyperlink, image, like, and comments. And this is something I honestly, I mean, as many years as I've been doing this, I really didn't think about it. And y'all probably have, is like in the comment section as the business owner, if it makes sense to the post, ask a question in the comment. Ask a question or ask a question in the status update, but specifically in the comments, to be able to engage and get feedback and input and engagement from your audience if it makes sense. And then I'm sure all of you know, but I'll just go ahead and, for the sake of it, Facebook introduced the @followers in the comment section. So the @ word followers, and enter that. And what that does is that actually sends that post to everybody that likes your page. So it's a great way of getting people to see your posts, as opposed to just being dependent on the algorithm, which is people outside of which is outside of your liked network. And of course, looking at Facebook analytics, look at the insights, the reach, the followers, the links, all of those things are another important part of utilizing that social media. So Instagram, it's easy to use, but it's a little bit harder to track traffic on Instagram. It doesn't have like the insights that Facebook does. Again, users, very much heavy on image and video-based engagement. Stories are the way to go. Over 500 million people use stories daily. Again, 18 to 24-year-old males is the larger group on Instagram. But again, I mean, that's not all. Average time that they spend is about 30 minutes a day. 50% of users use Instagram to discover products. How does the algorithm work? Engagement. Posts with higher likes, comments, and shares are more likely to be shown to a larger audience. Relevance. Instagram shows content that aligns with a user's past behavior. So me and the dog, me and Great Danes, I can't get on Instagram without seeing a bunch of stuff on Great Danes. Mushrooms and Louisiana fungi is another thing I'm into. So again, whatever my past behavior is, as it relates to what you're doing, determines if the algorithm is going to show it on my feed or not. Timeliness. More recent posts generally get a higher priority. So it's essential to post when your audience is more active. And then relationships. So content from accounts that users interact with, comments, DMs, are going to appear higher in the feed. Engaging directly with followers can also increase your visibility. And again, content variety, reels, stories, IGTV, those type of things will get you more view and more reach. Best times, for Instagram, a little bit wider there. And then again, the Instagram post structure. You have images, using the rule of thirds, put the subject of the photo in only 2/3 of the screen, making it more attractive to the eyes. You relevant photo captions, descriptions, etc. Hashtags are very widely used in Instagram. And again, comments and likes, and ask questions inside of the comment section. Instagram analytics, again, the reach, the interactions, the number of followers, etc. You've got some information there. It's just not as vast as what Facebook has, for example. All right, LinkedIn, moving into the LinkedIn world. It's business. It's people doing business with each other. There's no question. If you're a business owner, you really, really, really should have a LinkedIn profile. It's a large user base. The cons, it's no targeted ads, and then it's higher cost to do advertising on LinkedIn. It costs more than, say, Facebook. But again, young professionals, individual professionals are on LinkedIn. They have their profiles there. The graphics will come in a little bit clearer on the final export. It's just the internet connection today is a little iffy. Um, but again, I know the response I get on B2B marketing, events, announcements, it's very high on LinkedIn. I look at other people's, business things. It's a business persona. And so you want to come across as an industry expert, someone that knows things in their fields, utilizing LinkedIn to share blog information and other relevant information, upcoming events and activities are the way to go. There's great messaging. So again, I mean, I use LinkedIn quite a bit. I do a lot of it for targeted research, et cetera. How does the algorithm work? Well, content from users you frequently interact with, the connections, coworkers, or group members is prioritized. Engagement signals. So posts that receive early engagement, likes, comments, and shares are more likely to be shown to a wider audience. So hopefully you can get individuals, when they do like it, it's going to go out to other people as well outside of your network. The algorithm also rewards content that sparks conversations and interactions. I'm going to do better on that. After I really did research, that's the thing I know in myself that I can do a better job is in engaging conversations and interactions. LinkedIn likes diverse content formats. Native videos, images, document uploads perform really well. Also promotes long form posts and articles and thought leadership pieces. But again, relevance is whatever my interests are or my job roles are as I define in my profile, it's going to find information that's relative and related to that. When to post on LinkedIn, pretty wide range on LinkedIn. And again, a structure of the post, you have your status update, your hyperlink, your description, comments, likes, comments, shares, etc. But a good way to just kind of think about the post structure itself. And then, of course, LinkedIn has analytics, how many impressions your posts are getting, is it up or down, profile views. But again, so analytics is just something I don't, there's, it's definitely useful. I don't spend a lot of time on analytics. I just want to know that people are seeing it, they're engaging with it, that it's effective. So I'll kind of glance at things maybe once a month or so and just kind of get an overview of how things are looking or how my posts are doing. And that's really just all I have time for. I just want to make sure that there's some effectiveness and positive results about the time and effort and resources I'm putting into it. YouTube is a huge audience reach, second only to Facebook. It's cost effective. The cons of YouTube, it's time consuming. It takes time to put together videos. It just does. Or if you're having someone build the videos for you to have actual production. So, that's kind of the downside of that. It's popular across all demographics. Over 70% of users use YouTube to help solve problems or learn how to do things. I'm constantly trying to figure out how to do things on there. More than 70% of YouTube watch times comes from mobile devices. So making sure that your videos are optimized for mobile users. YouTube viewers watch over 1 billion hours of content daily, all the YouTube things. So again, if that's available, if the resources are, and if that's a platform that you can put the time and effort in, it is a great way of engaging your market and getting people to learn about you and your business. Again, user interaction is a top way the algorithm works. It prioritizes videos that people are more likely to engage with based on their watch history, their likes, shares, and comments. Videos with longer watch times are favored. If viewers spend more time watching your videos, it signals to YouTube that your content is valuable. Relevance of the video. So videos, I love the fact that on my YouTube channel, I watch the few things that I watch. I don't have to go search at all because on the landing page, it sorts on the algorithm related videos based on things what I've watched on. So that's great because I find new things all the time. Consistency and upload frequency. The more consistent you are and the more frequent you are with YouTube uploads, the more likely you're to be seen to a wider audience. And the algorithm also evaluates your click-through rates. So videos with appealing titles and great thumbnails that attracts clicks are more likely to be shown in search results. So again, another thing to think about as you're editing the video to make sure you have a good title and you have a good thumbnail of the video. When to post, again, mostly afternoon. You get a lot of 2 to 4 p.m., which is interesting. And then, of course, a little bit earlier on the weekends. The post structure of the video, the description, the title, the call to action, your hashtags are widely used in YouTube as well still. But again, putting a good descriptor in there, that's also good for people with visual and hearing disabilities that use programs and software to have a good description and title. YouTube analytics, you can obviously see how many views, all of those type of things. Just another way of looking at the effectiveness of the time and effort that you're putting into creating this content. Our good old buddy X, it's low cost, it's high customer engagement. You do have the character limit. And again, everything is public, so it's kind of hard to manage negative feedback if you get it. And it is something that you'll have to address in real time. A wide range of users, 25 to 49. They spend, about 31 minutes a day on the platform. People that use X and Twitter, well, X, Twitter, whatever, they're very active with it. They're very committed to it. So again, is that your demographic? Is that where you need to be? Is it real-time news information that you're trying to distribute? Hashtags and trending hashtags are still very relevant on Twitter, tweets, etc. And so again, another platform just that you need to decide, is it good for you to use? Similar to the other ones, the algorithms, as you're starting to see, they kind of work a lot the same. It prioritizes tweets with higher engagement, likes, retweets, replies, or quote retweets. Recency, newer content, so posting at times when your audience is most active. User behavior, again, looks at what my behavior is on X, and it's going to find other things that are relative. The relevancy of content, keywords, hashtags, and user interests. And then also profile engagement. So by engaging with your followers, by replying to their comments or retweeting, helps boost your visibility. So yeah, if you have comments and feedback on your post, you definitely want to reply to that. X is very active during the weekdays, not so much on the weekends. And then, of course, the good old post structure, your message, your link, an image, call to actions, make sure you get good punctuation. Those type of things are all a part of the good structure of a post. And of course, Twitter X has analytics as well. My favorite, my addiction, TikTok. TikTok content is pretty easy to create and it's fun. TikTok is just fun. There's definitely concerns surrounding privacy. There's a few lawsuits going on right now about some addictive behavior in children. I heard an NPR report yesterday. And then the content creation can be time consuming. It's easy to create the content, but it can be time consuming. I've done a few TikTok videos and I just don't have time for that. It's way too many layers, but I enjoy when other people do it. Who's on it? 16 to 24. A lot of Gen Zs, but I am not 16 to 24 years old, and I spend a good deal of time on TikTok. So there is the older crowd. Average user spends 95 minutes per day. It's probably one of the highest engagement rates on all the social profiles platforms. Male, female's pretty even. And, people use TikTok to find out places to eat, where to shop, what to buy, things to do. That's very heavy on TikTok. And also just kind of fun, informative brand awareness is also what people use TikTok for. Algorithm is very same. User interaction favors content based on individual user interactions. the video information. So it uses the captions, hashtags, and sounds to recommend content. So using trending hashtags, popular sounds, and clear keyword-rich captions can increase your chances of your TikToks appearing in user feeds. Again, it favors videos that are watched to completion or rewatched. Keeping your videos short, engaging, and attention grabbing is key. Um, you can go anywhere from 30 seconds to several minutes, I believe. But again, what is trending? What are those type of things? And that helps you be seen in a wider audience. Afternoons, a lot of times on the early parts of when to post on TikTok. Sunday all day long. And of course, TikToks has some analytics as well, just not as much. Okay, so that's it on the digital. I'm sorry, that's it on social. Now we're going to talk about other relevant digital practices in marketing. So content marketing, we talked about that, a lot last Thursday. Inbound content that we create. So, there's so many things it can be. Spotlights of your product or services is behind the scenes, customer stories and testimonials. I put a pretty detailed list before and after seasonal content. Right now everything is autumn and fall and Halloween. Using interactive polls and questions. Uh, it's great if we get others to create content about our business or our work or our services and they share it. Sharing industry news, creating a Did You Know series where it's a series of things, kind of informative information about your company or your business or the work that you do. Small tutorials is another. It's really endless what you can think about as it comes to content marketing. Again, it's going to go back to what are my goals, and we're going to go into that more Thursday. What are my resources? What am I trying to achieve? And how can I make those work in my day-to-day? Another important part of digital is search engine optimization, optimizing our websites and our content for search engines to improve organic search ranks for our organic search rankings. So some tips on that. Search engines look for keywords, but they also look for relevant content. So writing gibberish and keywords will not help your SEO. Original content that is in keeping with your website and the messaging of your website is the best choice to drive visitors. So when you're creating original content, don't forget that it needs to be relevant, well-written, and customer-focused if you want people to click on the content to read it. Some important tips, make sure and proofread. Let's all use AI. I'm an AI fool. But make sure, and we are proofreading it, and grammar is correct and spelling is correct, because mistakes in that makes it also difficult, not only for people to read, but also for search engines to analyze. Using titles and headings, H1 tags, H2 tags, body content tags, it breaks up the content and it makes it easier for people to skim, but it also helps with Google in analyzing and indexing your site. Google looks for H1 tags as headings and H2 tags and things like that. Keep in mind that online content is not a book unless you're writing a book. So definitely use short sentences that your audience can easily read. One of the important things of websites in general is keywords. What are the keywords that people will use to find my product or service? So how do I know? Well, one way is look at competitors' websites. What keywords are they using on our services, our work, homepage? And see how that's what they're doing. Also, consider long tail keywords, which is specific phrases with 3 or more words that can better capture users' intent instead of single keywords. Single keywords are hard to index for, but longer ones are not, longer phrases. And then once you've identified your keywords and your key phrases, you want to use them strategically throughout the website in titles, descriptions, and of course the page content. So here's 3 tools that you can use. Google Keyword Planner is a great tool. It helps you look at analyze the frequency of keywords that are used, the relevance of keywords that are used, etc. So that you can get the best idea of keywords. So use those tools. I strongly recommend using those tools to analyze your keywords in your top 5 to 10. People ask me how many keywords and phrases, 5 to 10 at most, depending on your product or service. Now, if you're an e-commerce business, that's a little different. But again, 3, 4, or 5 keywords and key phrases is more than enough to focus on. When it comes to websites, make sure this mobile and tablet friendly. Again, it needs to be a responsive design. It needs to load fast, which means you need to make sure that the photos that you upload are the lowest possible size for the best quality. So, if you have a homepage that has 7, 8 megabyte pictures, you're going to have a slow loading website on mobile and anyway. And so make sure and upload. Just because you click the upload button and you pull a picture doesn't mean it's optimized. You can do a little more research on the ideal size for pictures. You want to make sure that the forms are mobile friendly. If you have contact forms, make sure people can fill them out on your phone, on their phones. The layout a lot of times in mobile device websites are simplified. And again, we have adapted images and media involved as well. Google My Business, I think, outside of a website, is the most important thing every single person pretty much should have. It's a free thing to set up. Lots of business is done using Google My Business profile. It's the thing that shows up on the right side of the screen whenever you type a type of business that you're looking for. You can have pictures and updates and hours, etc. Reviews are huge, absolutely huge on Google My Business. We all use reviews. We talked about reviews in the customer buying journey last week in the second phase where they're doing active evaluation. Utilize this tool. All you need is a free Gmail account. In order to build it, you have to do some video verification of your location. Now, if you're like me and I don't have a traditional physical office, I don't have to put that down. I don't have to put an address. I can put the area that's served. But in order to create the profile, I do have to provide an address. It just can be hidden. Email marketing is very important. Everything's very important. But again, sending out newsletters, you've got people's email addresses. They want good content. They want value. They don't want to be spammed, but they want to know what you're doing. They've given you the email address. Stay in touch with them. Creating a campaign. Using pay-per-click, maybe Google ads, Facebook ads, but Facebook again is more affordable to enter into. And so it doesn't cost as much. But again, it's something to play around with and see if you can't generate, business in that aspect. But again, it depends on what type of business you're in. Not everybody needs to be doing, paid ads on Facebook. But if you're in the hospitality, food, entertainment, those type of things, it's probably a good thing to check out. Video marketing, we've talked about the short videos, whether that be on YouTube or TikTok. It's just, they have to have good lighting. They have to, have a good bookend, front end, tail, call to action, etc. Those are important. But again, educational content, informative content, we know how much videos we watch. So again, if that's something you have the time and resources to do, it can be a very great result for you. Talked a little bit about social media advertising, targeted ads on Facebook, on Instagram, and on LinkedIn. Again, it may be something to just play with and kind of see what the results are. I think chatbots are another huge important thing. Live chat, you can build them with the AI systems now. You can feed them information about your company. That's another goal of mine, is to incorporate a chatbot on my websites, so that if people are on my website and I'm not on it, they can engage, they can find out information, and of course, strong calls to action. So my two things is the, forgot what the first one was, but anyway, using the chat bots, and engaging with the comment section on my social feeds. Online review management, hands down, super, super important. Everyone here should have a strategy on asking for reviews, getting reviews. I actually have, I use my Google review, Facebook link, And so I send that out to people directly, say, hey, will you please leave a review here? I incentivize if they're a company that has a web host with us and we did a website with them, I give them free hosting for a time period, depending on the review. Um, I space them out. That's another thing to think about is, I don't need 10 reviews in a day. I want the reviews spaced out, one a month, two a month, three a month, something like that in my service-based industry. If you're in a different industry, you may want more faster. But again, I want them spaced out. I want them to be, so when someone goes to them, it's over a period of time. And so again, building that into your strategy. But there's no doubt what positive reviews can do. And yes, you get a negative review. Okay, you're going to respond to it, you're going to address it, and you're going to move on. Could be influencer marketing is a possible thing you want to look into. So whether that be local or micro influencers, people that have a lot of following. I know I've had clients that have reached out to New Orleans-based influencers, and they, had little interviews and little product features, and it's boosted their stuff. It's boosted their stuff. It boosted their sales. It boosted their engagement because these people have a huge audience, and that's what people kind of do, and they kind of follow what they say and recommend. And so, that's kind of what that's possibly something depending on the type of industry you're in. And of course, utilizing analytics, Google Analytics, Facebook Insights, all of those things are important just to understand the data. Because I just want to see that my data is working, that it's effective, that it's reaching people. And, most important is the time and effort that I'm putting into it that is paying off. Okay. All right. So going back now, let's see. Let me go back to Zoom. Where'd y'all go? Okay. For a minute, and let me look into chat. See. I see a question. Um, I don't know the answer to that question. How do you set up your accounts to have more than 5,000 friends on Facebook? No, I don't. Let's look that up. Oh, look, it popped up. Oh, as of today, it is not possible to have more than 5,000 friends on a personal Facebook account. If you want to reach a wider audience, consider creating a Facebook business page. So on your personal, as of right now, you cannot have more than 5,000. But if you have a business page, then there's no limit on that from what I'm understanding with this. People do I have? Any friends? Okay, I'm going down the rabbit hole. I'm gonna come out of the rabbit hole. I don't know how many friends I have. I'm gonna look. Um, so any other questions that y'all have in relation to this digital that we can possibly look at? So in the workbook itself, I'll go to that real quick and share screen. So this is the copy you got right now. And again, today was really just about the social media, just a place that you can maybe, think about what social media you will use, how you will use it, and what platforms you may want to. Again, we're going to be building into a strategy, and so we may build that over time. And of course, how can I optimize my website and what keywords and phrases will I focus on? Maybe using some of those tools that I shared. Now, to give a little preview for Thursday, this is where we're going to move into Thursday. We're going to cover quite a bit. We're going to go, we're going to start with a SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, competitor analysis, coming back to target market and persona, even though we did that last Thursday, it's still going to kind of fit in here. And so with those three things, then we're going to look at goals and objectives. So it's not until I can do those three things and I can then decide what I want my goals and objectives to be. What are my KPIs, my key performance indicators? What's my budget? What tools am I going to use? What methods am I going to use? We're going to look at scheduling, and then, of course, the analytics and metrics. So y'all all have a copy of that, and I believe it's in the chat. And finished a little bit early, got a little bit ahead of schedule. Does anybody have anything they want to add or ask? Okay. Well, Bigby, if you're
There's
good with this, we'll
uh,
finish a little bit early. Oh, I got
our hand,
somebody.
I'm sorry. No, there's in the chat, there was a question about, I don't know if you'd already addressed that. I'm sorry if I missed it.
Let's see. On the 5,000 friends?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. There's no way on according to Google, you can on a personal page, you cannot have more than 5,000 friends, but you can on a business page.
Yeah. Okay. Uh,
Thank you, though.
yeah. Thank you for the presentation. Have a good
All right. Well, I will see you all on Thursday, and we will be wrapping up our strategic marketing plan.
one.
Bye, everybody.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Everybody, see you Thursday. Take care.